feed the baby, let somebody else burp the baby, let somebody else rock the baby, unless you want to do all that. That's up to you.
No, I had a home birth, which I'm going to include some footage. I should have said that in the beginning. I'm going to include some footage of the home birth. No, don't put that on your face. Peace, everybody. If you're new here, I'm Elena, and I have just been released from the 4th trimester shackles. That's kind of dark, I know, but I am the mom of not only a 3-year-old but now a 3-month-old, and so this video is going to be about the 4th trimester, my second time around, experiences that I've had, learning opportunities that I have encountered. There have been so many to say that this is my second time being in the 4th trimester. And if you don't know what the 4th trimester is, it is the 13 weeks following delivery of a newborn baby. So you have the 1st trimester, first 13 weeks, 2nd, 3rd, and then when the baby is actually here, that is a trimester in itself, because baby's used to being attached to you for 9 months, 10 months ish, and so the both of you are learning how to live a life not attached literally, but kind of still attached. So I just want to go and share with you guys my experience this time around. So without further ado, let's get into it. I got some notes on my phone. I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet because both of my kids are here and I want there to be minimal interruptions and minimal editing so that I can get this video out to you guys. So let's start with sleep. Everybody is always like scared of or curious about sleep schedules with a new baby. This part was a learning opportunity for me. With my first child, my mom was with me and she took almost every night shift. I can barely even remember the night shifts with my daughter, who is 3. This time around, I remember every single night. Some of it's kind of a blur because of like the delusional state that we were in from the lack of sleep. But everything kind of feels like it just runs into each other. The days and the nights, they ran into each other. The first night was the longest night of sleep for a while. So my son Aiden he slept for about 5 hours that first night, and then he never slept for that long again up until like a few weeks ago. Now he's been sleeping sometimes 9 hours, I want to say, overnight, and I'm okay with that, to be honest. So yeah, that's just what it is. I feed him throughout the day as much as he wants, and at night when he does not wake up 3 or 4 hours after I go to sleep, that's a win for me. So the sleep schedule, I mean, the first couple weeks, first couple months, like the first 2.5 months really, were definitely the hardest. He was waking up twice at night, so maybe like 2 a.m. and then again at 5 a.m. And now he is waking up maybe like 4 a.m. and then again at like 9 a.m. And that's when we put him down at about 8:30, between 8:30 and 9:30, because he's still in control right now. So we haven't given him a bedtime. We're basically taking the time that he's giving us and making it work for our schedules. That's how this whole 4th trimester and beyond really works. Like, it's their world. As soon as they get here, it's no longer your world. You're now a parent, and as a parent, the world is theirs, and we just live in it, and we try to do our thing within it, and we try to take care of them and love them and stay sane in the midst of all that. So sleep schedule, I mean, it is what it is. You know, you have a new baby, they have to get adjusted to nights and days. They have to, got a baby right here. have to get adjusted to feeding schedules and sleeping schedules. So it is what it is. You pretty much just wait it out. And I'm very much looking forward to when he's 6 months old, so he can get on a real routine and
Where
sleep.
did you get those?
AJ, baby.
Yes. Where did you get those for?
I got those from someone, but mommy's doing a video, so I need you to be quiet, okay?
Okay.
Alright. You can watch Bubble Guppies. No talking, okay?
Okay.
Very much looking forward to when he is 6 months and he can sleep through the night for about 12 hours. We basically have been very subtly sleep training him right now, so he can soothe himself to sleep for the most part. Sometimes we put him down when he's still awake and he puts himself to sleep, which is amazing. So when he no longer needs to feed in the middle of the night, then it will be smooth sailing as far as the sleep schedule goes. So let's move on to the next thing. So the community and support is one point that I have written down. The more community, bless you.
Bless me, Mommy.
The more community and support that you have during the 4th trimester and beyond, but this is about the 4th trimester, the better. We had some friends coming over to bring us food, friends and family bringing food, helping to clean up, especially like really this was mainly like the first 2 or 3 weeks, I want to say, but that's when you're in zombie mode as parents. The house could potentially be a mess if you're gonna have a housekeeper, which we do not. And food, cooking food, taking the time out to prepare meals, it's just not very easy when you have a newborn and a toddler and 2 sleep deprived parents. So the community and support that came through with the food and the cleaning and just checking in honestly was amazing. And so if you are embarking on having a child, if you don't have any kids already, then I highly recommend cultivating a support system as best you can and leaning on them when the time comes, because it is hard out here in the 4th trimester. It's like it's a ride. It's a wild ride. AJ, no talking please, baby. Okay, so one of the lessons that I learned in this 4th trimester came from me doing too much too soon. So for those of you who don't know, I had a home birth, which I'm going to include some footage. I should have said that in the beginning. I'm going to include some footage of the home birth. No, don't put that on your face. I ended up like having some chest pains. It was hard to breathe. It was hard to breathe when I laid down, and it wasn't COVID. It didn't even feel like COVID. It just felt like kind of muscle pains in the chest wall. And I hadn't been exercising or working out or doing anything strenuous, but I was cooking meals sometimes, and I was getting up and moving around a few weeks after labor when I really should have been sitting my behind down, better yet laying my behind down and like doing pretty much nothing but nursing the baby and practicing self-care. And when I look back at it, realizing that the 4th trimester just ended for me about, what's today? Sheesh, like a week ago. And I think about the things that I was doing 2 or 3 weeks postpartum. It's like, girl, what are you doing? Like, you don't need to do all that. You have support. I have support. And when you have support, there is no need to carry more than you need to. So feed the baby and rest, because your body just did amazing work for not only the duration of the labor but the entire pregnancy. So the 4th trimester honestly is a perfectly valid excuse to just relax and like do the bare minimum and just take care of yourself and take care of your baby. Feed the baby, let somebody else birth the baby, let somebody else rock the baby, unless you want to do all that. That's up to you. But as for me and my house, I was very much okay with feeding the baby and loving on him, and then handing him off for all of the other duties to be performed on his baby body. Cultivate that support system and team so that you will have more flexibility and ability to just take care of yourself and focus on you and focus on providing the baby with sustenance. Everybody might feel different about that, but that's how I felt about it, and this is my video. So let's talk about one kid versus multiple kids. So if you don't know, I'm about to find out. Let's say 55% of the time we have 2 kids in the house now that Aiden is here, but that other 45% of the time we have 3 kids in the house, y'all. And oh my god, it's like those days where we have 3 are the days. Some people have their weekend where they like to relax and not be kind of, you know, caught up with work. Some people have that on Saturday and Sunday, but we kind of, the days where we have 3 kids, it's pretty relaxed, it's pretty chill. We're watching movies, we are going out to like the library, going to parks, chilling out in the house. We don't do too much devoted to our business or education. We don't do a whole lot of that when there's 3 kids in the house, because we're outnumbered. At that point, we're outnumbered. When there's 3 kids and there's only 2 of us, we're outnumbered. So it's kind of a setup to try to make all these goals for the day and then not being able to get anything done. So instead, we just pour into the kids. Like, we pour into them. We let them run around, have fun, sing songs, watch movies. It's been Encanto lately. If you know, you know. Okay, this is the longest stretch. This week has been the longest stretch. Matter of fact, these past 4 days has been the longest stretch where we have not watched Encanto at least once. So, thank God for that. But yeah, one kid at one time versus 3 a good portion of the time is a total game changer, total plot twist. So something that I've learned and started to implement is using my calendar and my planner not only for my personal and business goals, but also for the family thing. So we now have a family calendar. We got like story time at the library marked on there. We have obviously like church, we go on Sundays, and then just different activities, whatever activities, mostly the library, because we also homeschool. So AJ, my daughter, has never been, she's had a babysitter for when we need a break or we need a little bit of time to do some uninterrupted work. But aside from that, she's never been to daycare or school or anything like that. So it's our responsibility to find the resources and do things at home, or like branch out and find that outlet for her to get the social interaction as well as like the educational stuff. So,
Mommy.
You want Dora?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. I didn't already watch that.
Okay, so as I was saying, I think we use the time where we have all 3 of the kids to just pour into them, really. But now that I think about it, that's not really realistic for people who have 3 kids 100% of the time. So, the calendar. You gotta lean on the calendar. At least that's what I gotta do. I gotta lean on the calendar, lean on support systems, use my planner all the time, and just make the room, because like I said before, this is their world. Once they get here, it's their world, and it's our job to figure out how to not only live in their world and live our lives, but also like contribute to their world, because it's what matters the most. But we also want to have a balance. and take care of ourselves and pour into ourselves, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. So that's why I gotta have a planner or a calendar or something in place. That way I can divvy up my time and energy to where I can pour into myself adequately enough to be able to also pour into my family and serve them the best that I can. So that is, I think that's, I'll leave it there with one kid versus multiples. That fourth trimester, the difference, let me talk about the difference real quick. So obviously one kid is one mouth to feed, one voice to hear, and really just one person to be responsible for aside from yourself. And now having multiples means that while that one infant voice is crying and that one infant belly is empty, you're going to have a bigger voice and a bigger belly that also needs filling. So I think just taking advantage of a schedule and a routine makes all the difference between having one versus multiples, and also even more so having that support system and team in place so that you can get rid of one or get rid of two and spend time one-on-one time, or you know, 2-on-1 time or 2-on-2 time, so that you're not always outnumbered, right? Like, that's how I feel about it. So let's go to postpartum body and self-love. So one of the things that I started postpartum that is very much new to me, and please let me know in the comments if you have any experience with this and what your experience is. I started Yoni steaming. I meant to start that during the 3rd trimester at the end, but it was it felt like such a task, and with having minimal private time, because it's something that I wanted to be like private, me pouring into myself, spending time with myself. I didn't have much of that in the 3rd trimester, and the other half of the time I was tired and big, and it just didn't make it into the 3rd trimester. So maybe it wasn't supposed to. But the 4th trimester, I got little windows of time where I wasn't alone because I'm breastfeeding, but I was able to have some quiet time, have about like 45 minutes where maybe he was napping, to where I could do my first Yoni steam. I got my herbs from Earth Mama Medicine, so I will link those in the description box. I really hope I remember. I got the herbs from her, and it's such a peaceful and like intimate experience with yourself, and it just feels like love. It feels like I am taking this time to do something, to spend time with myself, meditate, pour into myself, take care of my body, take care of my most feminine my most feminine part. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. It felt like love. It felt like self-love. It felt like personal time, and the herbs smell so good, so that just adds to it. It felt like I was feeding my femininity. Personally, I don't know if that's the overall goal of it. I think it's the goal of it is whatever you want the goal of it to be. There are so many benefits. If y'all want me to do a video about Yoni steaming and the benefits of it, why people do it, how you might be able to benefit from it, then just let me know in the comment section. So if you know, you know. If you don't know, let me know if you want to know, and then we can talk about it. And I also said postpartum body. So this has been a challenge. Like, it's been a challenge because I feel my absolute best when my body is like on point. Like, I just feel the most confident, and I think that's pretty common for everybody. My postpartum body was so much more appealing to me this time around than it was the first time around. I gained about the same amount of weight though, but my exercise and my physical activity was at a different height before I got pregnant this time around. Another difference, my first pregnancy I worked out almost all the way up until the end. This pregnancy I didn't work out probably past the first trimester. My energy and my body was just like, no sis, like just relax, sit down, you're carrying a baby, like it'll be fine. And I didn't want to obsess about what my postpartum body was going to look like during my pregnancy, because that was just going to be a place for like stress to come in, and I didn't want to be stressed or like getting anxious about what my body's gonna look like. It's like it's gonna look like whatever it's gonna look like, and after the baby comes, it's up to you to do something about it. And I did it before, so I can do it again. So I try not to obsess about that because it just wasn't healthy, and that's not what I wanted to do. So that sounds good and it sounds easy, but unless you like snap back a few weeks later like some people do, then you have to look at a postpartum body that might not look like what you're used to, or might not look like what you prefer. And so I've been having to, this is a pretty recent thing though, I've been practicing looking in the mirror and smiling at my body, even if it's not the body that I'm used to smiling at. Because, moment of transparency, I caught myself looking in the mirror at my body and having the most like, just the word is disgusted. I don't want to say that I looked at myself with that type of look, but it's true. I had a disgusted look on my face, and I had never seen myself look at myself that way. I've seen myself that way before. I've seen myself much bigger, much heavier than now, but this is the first time that I saw myself see myself, and I had a look of disgust on my face. And if you've ever had someone look at you with or without clothes on, just in general, if you've ever had someone look at you with a look of disgust, it makes you feel this big, maybe even smaller. It makes you feel really small. And I did that to myself. And so in response to that, I decided to start looking at the parts that I don't like, or I'm not even gonna say that I don't like, but looking at the parts that aren't my favorite. Love handles, because they here. Boobs are much bigger because they're full of milk. My hips, my thighs, they all look different. And so I practice looking at those areas.
Mainly the love handles.
Practice looking at them and like smiling. It might be a forced smile, but eventually it's going to be a real smile. And my body is going to morph as I exercise, and it's going to be more aesthetically pleasing to me, but I am going to be happy with it regardless of what direction it goes in, because I'm practicing that self-love and that love, I guess body positivity you could call it, by just looking at those parts that make me feel a little uncomfortable and smiling at them and giving them love, and just letting my body know that I love it and I'm grateful for it. It did some amazing work, and it's not fair and it's not nice to look at it like that, you know? So I hope that resonates with somebody. That was very, very transparent. So I hope somebody got something from it. This last thing I want to talk about is actually right there in line with the postpartum body that I was just talking about, and that is my experience with like exercising and fitness. So it just depends on what your doctor says. I'm not a doctor, but usually 6 weeks is the standard clearance for getting back into working out. And so I thought that I was gonna do that, and when 6 weeks came around, I realized that my body still wasn't ready, and it wouldn't have been right to like force myself to work out in the name of like a snapback, a quick snapback. So I decided to wait until the 4th trimester was over or closer to it, but a little bit after 6 weeks, I realized that I did feel like I could do something and I wanted to do something. So I gradually started going to the gym, just doing light stuff, no weight. And then I started a postpartum program. Now, this is another learning opportunity. This program is a 5-day-a-week program. So there's 3 days of strength training. This is from Kiara the Leader, by the way, on Instagram. If you know her, if you don't know her, I'll link it below. And it is a Moms Who Lift postpartum fitness program. She recommends it for 6 months postpartum if you're new to working out. If you are like experienced, then you can start it whenever you want. If you are wanting to start a postpartum program and you're interested in hers, just like if you're new to working out, just wait 6 months. Even if you're not new, if you want to wait 6 months, you can wait 6 months. But it is a 5-day-a-week program, and I started it and I did the first 3 weeks, and then I had like this moment where I felt like I was not just as it related to fitness, but overall I felt like I was off balance. And I think that starting a 5-day workout program, before I even got into my new routine of life and multiple children, it was hard to mesh. So instead of that, the learning opportunity that I got, not only do I have her postpartum program that is a 5-day-a-week, I also have a 3-day-a-week program from her. So instead of committing to 5 days a week, going from 0 days to 5 days, I'm going to commit to a 3-day-a-week program. I'm giving myself a break. This whole week I haven't really worked out too much. And then I'm going to start fresh with that one on Monday. So that was another learning opportunity. So I guess the overall lesson from that is just to like ease in, be patient with yourself. Like, don't rush it. Like, do not rush it, because it took a long time for my body to get to where it is now during that pregnancy period and 4th trimester. And I mean, it's not gonna take that long to get back to where I want to be, but it's okay if you're not back by the end of the 4th trimester, or a couple weeks postpartum, or even a couple months postpartum. So yeah, that is everything that I wanted to share with you guys about the 4th trimester. I'm going to include a little snippet of my labor. It's going to be the pushing. Trigger warning, is that the right thing to say? Yeah, but it's super, like, you're gonna love it. It was so beautiful. I rewatched it today and it was just beautiful. Very little screaming, just beautiful. So please stay in and watch that. It's not even gory. It was a water birth, so baby comes out 90% clean. It's not even like a big deal. So just watch it, okay? In the next video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the fast that I did to start this year off. 21-day fast. I fasted from 3 things, and you'll find out in the next video what those 3 things were for 21 days. And I'm also going to share the revelations that I got from my fast. So I hope you guys will tune in to that video, and I will see you there. Until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being patient with me trying to grow and maintain this channel. This is my year, y'all. But that's all I got for you guys today. So have a beautiful evening, morning, rest of your day, whatever it is for you, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Look at that.